Jamelia is in the building, guys.
Superstar.
When I was 3.5 months pregnant, he just decided to leave. Pardon?
Yeah, wow.
I'm definitely not here as an advocate for blending your family. And I know that might be totally controversial.
Whoa, hang on a minute.
You're going to fit in so perfectly.
Yeah.
Can you be fully happy if your children aren't happy? Because
Yes.
can you?
There is no way I am going to survive this. Like, there is no way. And it's only because of my children.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm not meant to look at you and think, inspiration.
Sorry, I really didn't want to get upset.
Sorry.
No. It's real life, you know what I mean?
The energy coming out of you, it's amazing. It's so lovely to see.
I was absolutely broken, but I'm so proud of what I've done with all the pieces.
Hi guys, I'm Kate Ferdinand and this is Blended, the podcast where we talk about everything to do with a blended family. I've got my amazing co-host, Priscilla here, and an extra special guest co-host today, Jamelia.
Hi.
You guys may know her. Jamelia is in the building, guys.
Superstar.
We have been talking about doing this for so long,
Literally.
since previous
Years. Yeah.
years.
Yeah. I was married.
Yeah, we're going to get into this, by the way. We're going to get into
Wait
this.
for it.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Introduce yourself for anyone that...
Oh my gosh. I'm Jamelia. I'm a singer, actress. And yeah, I don't know. And a mom. Yeah. That's my number one thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you here.
It's lovely to be here.
Thank you so much. I know you've come all the way over from Dubai.
Yes. So I've lived there now for like 1.5 years. And yeah, I'm trying to convince everyone to move. I'll definitely, end the day by trying to convince you guys to move over there.
Do you have a community there, though?
Oh my goodness, the most beautiful, wholesome.
Are they all
and
like
supportive.
English people, or is
Do you
it
know
everyone?
most of my friends are English, but I have friends from the Netherlands. I have friends from like Nigeria.
But you met them
Ghana,
there?
Met them all there.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like
beautiful.
there's a lot of different cultures
Oh
and
my
different people
gosh.
there. Yeah.
And it's really lovely for the kids. Like we talk about like wanting our children to kind of be in, a multicultural environment.
Yeah.
It really is that. Like, so many of the kids are like bilingual and, the kind of idea of difference doesn't really exist because everyone's different in some way. Like you have no idea the things that we normalize here and we're okay with.
Yeah.
And then you go there and you're like, oh.
Like in terms of safety and behaviour.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Everything, like culturally,
Yeah.
There's so many things that we're just cool with. But then when you're there, you get used to it. And then you come back here and you're like, oh my gosh, you guys are living in hell. This is awful. Sorry, I really don't mean to be rude, but like it literally feels like that coming back here. I was talking to you guys before about being here just with my children, just me by myself. And I am currently in a state of like shell shock. Like even little things like no one helping me with the buggy. I'm like, how can, like now I'm literally like, how can you see a woman with a buggy and and holding the hand of another child and not think that she might need a hand?
Yeah, it's so true. But people just ignore it. So when you get on the tube or the train and you're really struggling, people just pretend they can't see you.
Yeah.
I remember when I was heavily pregnant and I had to go to London for something. I had a suitcase.
Yeah.
And I'm like hobbling down the stairs.
Yeah.
People they're just
I
pretending.
don't even look at people because I know no one's going to offer me a seat.
Don't you?
No, I don't even play the game. My husband would be like, wear a badge for what?
I mean, it's quite obvious.
They don't give a toss.
Why do you need a badge when you have the belly?
Yeah.
No, they don't give a toss.
Yeah, it is wild.
Crazy. And it feels worse coming from Dubai, having been there for so long. It's really.
Do you still homeschool?
Yeah, I do.
Is there a homeschooling community up there?
Yeah, it's huge. Like, and they also have like facilities that help you homeschool. So
Yeah,
like,
co-ops.
my 7-year-old, she goes to like a co-op twice a week.
What's that? Sorry, a co-op.
It's basically like so it's if you heard of Montessori.
Yeah.
So my daughter's 7, and this Montessori is kind of like the best way to describe it. It's like a nursery, but for older children, and it's just so she can meet other kids that are like her. So these children are homeschooled, but then they'll go into this environment. It is an educational environment, but they're also they also like doing experiments and cooking and stuff like that, and it's just so she's got something different to do, throughout the week. But yeah, she loves it. And the schools, The schools are incredible, but they're huge. And my daughter, she's not good with lots of people, a bit like me. And so she's, so I homeschool her. She loves it. And yeah, she loves her life. I mean, with the children as well, like, like we do things like swim every day. Like, imagine that. Like, because even
Yeah,
when
I
you've
can't
got a
swim.
pool, I had a pool in England. I wasn't swimming every day because you can't.
Yeah.
But like, it was an outside pool as well. So, but obviously in Dubai, like we can literally like, oh, come on, let's go to the pool.
You've sold everyone that's listening, I think, by the
Yeah.
way. Everyone wants to move to
wanna
Dubai. It sounds like the
go.
life, doesn't it?
See the job.
We need to do some more episodes,
Yeah,
Hans, and then we'll get you over there.
Get it going.
Make us blow, people, so I can go.
Well, we know so much about you. Cilla and I are both big fans of you.
Aw.
We love everything about you and the way you
bless
speak
you.
about your family and everything that's going on. But for any of our listeners that don't know your kind of blended family setup, because everyone that we have on here has got some kind of link to a blended family. So would you mind just...
Yes. So as I said, I've got 2 sets of daughters. I've got 4 daughters. I had 2 when I was in my 20s. So Tasia I had when I was 20. Tiani I had when I was 26, I think. And then in 2017, I got married, and he had a son. And then we, blended families. I had a baby with him in 2017 as well. Yeah, it was a lot. And then I'd describe it as being happily married for like 5-6 years. And then I got pregnant with my second daughter with him. And when I was 3.5 months pregnant, he just decided to leave. Like, he was just like, oh yeah, I'm leaving. I was like, sorry?
Wow.
Pardon?
Yeah, wow.
And it was literally as simple as that. And so for the past 3 years, my daughter from that relationship, she's 2.5 now. So for the past 3 years, I'd say that we've spent kind of recovering from that experience as a family. And I am in the best place, best space, best mindset, everything I've ever been in my whole entire life.
Wow.
Like I've never known happiness like the happiness that I'm experiencing now. And so as much as my blended family didn't end well, I'm so glad that that it happened. I feel like maybe I was just meant to be a girl mom and just me and my girls. Like I literally feel like I'm part of a little crew. Like, and it's it's beautiful. Like literally, like every day I feel really, really fortunate. And I know I spent the first 10 minutes complaining about
Mum life.
being with them. Yeah, but that's what it is, isn't it? It's like you love it, and but there are
hard.
obviously difficult
Yeah.
times as well. But so I'd say that I'm still in recovery from not having the perfect blended family, but I did genuinely enjoy it when it was happening, when I had it.
And you're still in love with love, though.
I mean, I don't necessarily want a man or anything like that. I wouldn't mind, a friend, a friend,
Companion?
A companion. But I don't think I'm definitely not here as an advocate for blending your family. And I know that might be totally controversial.
Whoa, hang on a minute.
Yes,
We've got lots to unpick here.
yeah, right.
What?
Right? Yeah. But I am completely aware that my point of view, had we had this conversation 3 years ago, I'd be singing the praises of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like now I'm because of my own personal experience, I'm like, I would never do that again. Yeah.
There's so much that goes into it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
When you just sat there and said, I'm the happiest I've ever been, it actually gave me goosebumps.
Because
I think rewind 3 years, if you told yourself that, you probably wouldn't have believed it, would you?
No way. I literally thought there is no way I am going to survive this. Like, there is no way. And it's only because of my children, only because, I had a 21-year-old who had just turned 21. She's supposed to be living her best life. And she's now literally taking care of me. I had at the time, I guess Tiani was like, she must have been 16, just taking her GCSEs. Then I had a 4-year-old who was just starting school. And then I had a newborn baby.
Wow.
All of that going on. And I am
On
absolutely
the floor.
broken.
Mm.
Like absolutely just, unrecognizable even to myself. And I think it was just kind of not, it was just, I think it was more realizing no one's coming to save you. No one's coming
Kate
to
says
save.
that all the
Yeah.
time.
No one's coming to save you. And if you don't do it, you're all, and it's going to sound so awful, but you're all dead.
Yeah, you're
Like
gonna
that's
lay down and
literally what I
die.
thought. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
literally what I thought. And I was just like, okay, I got to get up.
You're,
And
yeah. You're an inspiration for anyone that will be in that place right now.
Yeah.
And I think even something that's stuck in my head is like, you have gone through so much and your own journey. But also you said it was such a traumatic time for the family.
Oh my gosh.
And I think you said you had a stepson
Yeah.
and you were all blended. Like you've split up the siblings, the step siblings as well.
Honestly, like one of the things that I think I still haven't come to terms with is, to me, he was one of my children.
Yeah.
And to have him ripped from me, like literally, I have not seen him since that day.
Wow.
Like, sorry, I really didn't want to get upset. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
No. It's real life, you know what I mean? Sorry. And I think that's why I say things like I would never do it again, because
Yeah.
the bond that you create with a child, and it's with a child that can get taken away. No one can take away my biological children,
Exactly.
but they're allowed to do that, and I just have to get on with it. He just has to get on with it. I don't know how he feels. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Because
What about his
we.
sisters?
Well, is it the girls? You know what I mean? Like because it's not just a case of this man has left. He's literally, I mean, like, it just like erased himself from our lives. He has nothing to do with any of my children. So my older children obviously were bonded with him. I was bonded with my stepson, and his whole family. Everyone had just cut us off.
It's like grief. It's
Oh,
like it's like
that's
he's
exactly
died,
what it is.
Like because there's no change.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And you question. You're like, but why has this happened? Like, how has this happened? How 2 weeks before the last conversation, we were on our baby moon in Jamaica. Like, it was having the most beautiful time. Like, I've seen people talk about like being blindsided and stuff, and you're just like, and I have this thing. Obviously, because I had my daughters from previous relationships, my older two. I felt like, oh, I've got it right this time. Do you know what I mean? I've got it
Oh my
right. You know what I mean? I've
gosh.
got married. I got married first, and then, I've done it the right way. So we've got married, and now we've got the baby, and now we've got the family, and, and it was like the mom, the dad, and the kids. And it was, it was all so beautiful. And, but then there's a part of me that looks back and, I think to myself, like, was it really what I thought it was, or was I just deluding myself? Because, I really do question, like, how didn't you see this coming? How didn't you know that this could potentially happen? And yeah. And so now I think I've just got like a lifelong fear of like anything like that ever happening again. And I think the worst thing about it is that it didn't just happen to me. It happened to my children.
Yeah.
My daughters had to not only see me in this way, they also had terrible experiences with him, in the whole breakup process. And it was just kind of, it was absolute hell. Absolute hell.
Does True remember anything? Does True remember her brother?
Sorry, True is
the 7-year-old.
Yes, yeah. So True's my 7-year-old. So my oldest daughter with him. She remembers her brother, but again, no contact. We've tried to make contact. And I think that their whole thing is about punishing me, and
even the mother of.
So yeah. So what I think has happened, because again, I can't even tell you what's actually happened because I don't have
know.
facts. But what I think has happened is that he's gone back to his family and had to tell them something awful that I've done, because it doesn't make sense that he's got so many women in his family. It doesn't make sense that
No one's reached
no
out.
one
Yeah.
has reached out to me. No one has asked me if I'm okay. No one has asked about the children.
Not even to tell you off.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Interesting.
Interesting.
And I've tried to reach out to them. And
That is
just,
heartbreaking.
honestly,
And so for you, you're a woman, like
exactly.
but
I'm an adult.
you're an adult.
Yeah.
But for the children to have this family and have everything and not seeing anything wrong, and then it just be ripped away from you.
Exactly.
That is. How do you explain that when you can't? You don't even know yourself. So how can you even explain that to your children? What was that process for you?
It's still ongoing. It's still, it's kind of like an impossible situation because, as you say, it wasn't just like I knew these people. Like we were a family. They were part of my family, and I don't come from the closest family, so I'm also the type of person who really latches on. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I've got this whole. So I was like, I've been so heartbroken by just how all of them have conducted themselves,
rejection.
It's a huge rejection, but not as as I said, like I'm an adult, so I can kind of maybe it's this, maybe it's that. But with children, there's no
rationalizing.
Absolutely, there's no explanation, and I can't explain. I can't, but I'm also of the thinking of I don't want to negatively speak about these people to my children because my younger two especially, that is their family, and I don't, if at any point in in the future they wanted to reach out to their family, I want them to be able to make up their minds about who they are. It's not about me, it's not about my experience. And I can only tell them the facts. But it's been really awful. It's been really awful. But since moving to Dubai, I think I see Dubai as like me choosing what's best for me. I stayed in the UK for a couple of years because I thought, oh, they're going to come round. Do you know what I mean? They're going, he can't possibly not want to see his children. And just nothing. So after 2 years, I was like, you know what, I'm going to do what I want to do, which is move to Dubai. It's fantastic for girls and women in particular. And so, and it's the best thing I've ever done. It's impacted us all so positively. And I don't think it was necessarily about moving to Dubai per se. I think it was about choosing myself and choosing to
fresh start
exactly. And slowly but surely, obviously I'm also a working mom. I'm the breadwinner. I've always been the breadwinner anyway.
Yeah.
So I've had to continue to work, but I've been able to, even just having help, like having a nanny and, she, having like, just someone to do the laundry or to tidy up, like
is my ultimate goal in life.
Like because what it's done is it's given me space and time to process what's happened, but also to kind of regroup with my children. Like we talk so much and we spend so much quality time, and even things such as tidying my house. Because I'm not spending time doing that, I'm spending that time with my children.
Yeah.
And it hasn't solved everything, it hasn't erased everything, but it's made things 100 times better. And we're a really strong unit now because of that. And and our communication is up there. And I do feel like I don't think I'll ever get over it. I don't think I'll ever get over that happening to me. But I've said this before, like, I was absolutely broken, but I'm so proud of what I've done with all the pieces. And I feel like that's all I can do. Even if it's with broken pieces, I feel like I can still have a great life. And that's what I'm committed to.
I think that's what I love about hearing you talk, because what has transpired in your life, even from the very beginning of becoming a mum, working, being in the spotlight, to this present day, if we're gonna be honest, it should be a very sad story. Right? It should be a very sad story. Like, honestly, I'm not meant to look at you and think, inspiration. Do you know what I mean? Like, if we're gonna be honest,
that's true.
Right?
On paper, this is a tragedy.
It is. Like, if you wrote a book, I'm just like, it's a bit heavy. But your narration of this story is, it's like it doesn't fit, but it fits.
Yeah.
It's like you know, like even with this podcast, like a lot of the conversations that we have, we're literally just giving people other things to consider.
Of course.
Things that they've not considered before.
Of course.
So it's like on the offset, people are going to hear your story, or people that have been fans have witnessed what you've been through, and you're really open, and they're going to conclude, damn, Jamelia's had it rough, man. Like, I'm not sure. But when we hear you talk, and you talk so candidly, so openly, so vulnerably, it's like you're making me consider that actually the hard things that I'm going through, I don't have to tell it the way it presents.
Of course.
Yes.
What light can I find in this? And then I'm going to tell it that way. And I think within blended families, because so many hard and bad things happen, a lot of like stepmoms or just even members of blended families get into a place of, I'm going to tell you the realness of it, and it's wholly negative. It's like deeply negative. But for you and yourself within your growth, like how can I narrate my own story?
Exactly.
Like it's my story, and I'm going to tell it in this way of like growth, hope, inspiration, moving on, new beginnings, and beauty at the end of it. So it's like, yes, it's been hard, but that's not it.
Yeah.
And that's not the end of it.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I make a point. Like it took me a while to mention it publicly, but I always knew that I would talk about it publicly, but I wanted to be in a positive space. I didn't, there's nothing wrong with crying, but I didn't want people to see the broken person. I wanted people, particularly those who find themselves in those types of situations today, I want you to see me and understand that like you can be in charge of changing this. You can take charge, you can change your mindset. And it's hard. I'm not going to lie to you. It's so hard. And it has taken so much effort, so much strength, but I promise you've got it. Like, especially mothers. Like we have like, I just think that we need to give ourselves the biggest props because the things that we normalize, the things that we endure, the things that we accept, like we are incredible. And I have now started to think of myself as an incredible person. Whereas before, I think I was focused on the things that had happened to me or the things that I was ashamed of or the things that I got wrong. But it's like, yeah, but look at all the stuff you've got right. You keep a child alive every single day, and you've done it for years. Come on now. That's like,
I tell my kids, don't call me mum, call me the matriarch. Do you know who I am? I'm a very big person.
Absolutely.
Mate.
Absolutely. And I feel like, I just feel like we do not give ourselves enough credit. And not only that, like when you become a mother in whatever way, shape or form it is, because we are so full of love, like our dedication, our commitment. But not only that, I feel like sometimes we can even be overly selfless, and we put ourselves last and we don't realize, hold on, like, are you aware of the impact that you're having? You teach a child a language. Like you teach a child a language, you keep a child alive, you feed them, you come up with different meals. I don't care if it's takeaway every day, you still made a choice. Like there are so many things that we underestimate our impact and our impact on society. Every great person that exists
has come from a woman.
Has come from a woman.
Please.
Would not be here without a mother. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like and in that as well, we become totally different people during that process as well. We endure changes that men never will. And still we move forward. Still we get dressed. Still we put on our makeup and we show up. Like if you can do that, you can do anything. Like I genuinely believe it. I genuinely believe like I'm almost invincible, and I think we all are, genuinely.
And you are, actually. I'm looking at you, and you are incredible.
Oh, bless you.
The way that you're just, like Cilla said, presenting, and just the energy coming out of you. It's amazing. It's so lovely to see that even all the hardships you've been through, how much of a good place you're in.
Oh, bless you. And I think what I would like people to know is that, like, we all have that. We all have this. I pray I pray we don't have to have this journey to discover it in ourselves. But I really implore people to, especially women, especially mothers, I really do implore you to kind of look into yourself and really take stock of what you do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Right. Wake up in the morning and write a list of everything you do. And you can't help but go to bed and feel like a gangster. You're like, no one can talk to me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But you know, now you said that you'll never advocate for being in a blended family again.
She's not going to let that one slide. I've been waiting for that to come out.
Dilemma.
Oh no, we've got a dilemma.
I think, like, usually the person that sits there is Natalie.
Yes.
And she's like this holistic, wholesome, gangster. Yeah. Every now and again, she gives us like love and light, but she gets to the end of herself and then she's just like, no, but sorry, no. Yeah. I just feel like you're gonna fit in so perfectly.
Yeah, okay.
Like you're really taking up Natalie's shoes because you've given us a lot of love and light, but now I'm worried about the dilemma. I'm a little bit worried.
I know, I'm a little bit worried too. Shall we go into this dilemma?
Yes.
Okay, this week's listener's dilemma. I've been living with my partner for just over a year. He has 2 kids, aged 9 and 12, and I have a daughter who's 10. His 12-year-old daughter lives with us full-time, and his son is over every weekend. They're all good kids, there's no arguing or bad behaviour, but they just haven't bonded. It feels like they're living under the same roof, but in completely separate bubbles. My daughter recently said she doesn't feel at home anymore. That really got to me. This used to be our space, just the 2 of us. She's sharing everything now, her routines, her bedroom space, her mum, and I can see how she's shutting down a bit emotionally. I'm trying not to force it, but I can't ignore how she's feeling either. How can I work on building a bond between the kids, and how do I make my daughter feel more comfortable in our own home again?
Sorry,
I'm scared for what she's going to say.
I don't know why I know. Because I'm just thinking about you and your daughters, and I'm just thinking...
and she's like, you're a protective mum here.
Yeah,
We all are, but
yeah, so interestingly, I'd say an identical situation.
Oh.
And as you know, I was married for 5 years. He lived with us for 5 years. So as someone who made the decision that, listen, this man is a part of our family, we're going to make this work. And it wasn't my way or the highway, or there was so much effort put into blending and making sure we all got on. We had family therapy once a week. It was like a concerted effort.
You said we're going to have family.
Yeah,
with an outside person.
Yeah. So
we've got a lot to unpick here. Hang on a minute. When did we decide that was needed?
Well, my second daughter, she and him she just didn't want him in our house.
Yikes.
She just didn't want him in our house, and that's what it boils down to. And I can speak about it from this perspective now. You know, I feel that what I should have done was asked him to leave, not necessarily leave me, but leave because she wasn't ready. She wasn't ready for that. So I don't know, don't know how controversial this is, but like my daughter was 11 when he joined our family, and she still used to sleep in my bed with me, and so now she had to get out of my bed and have her own room. And I did the whole thing of like, I'm going to make you, so I made her the most spectacular room. It didn't matter. She literally just wanted to, and to this day, she's 19. She still wants to lay in the bed with me and be all like that. But yeah, genuinely, I feel like one of the things that I do regret, and a mistake that I made, again, because of how things have turned out, especially, I feel like I should have given her more
time.
More time and more say and more, I think it's most important that the children feel a part of the decision making and that they feel comfortable. Because the children don't choose. The children aren't choosing your partner.
Yep.
The children aren't choosing each other. And, even with my stepson, it wasn't easy bonding with him. But like, I'd make a huge effort to make sure we did and make sure we had one-on-one time and stuff. And I wouldn't even say it was the closest relationship, but it was something that I felt like, well, we have to get along. This has to work, And maybe I think sometimes we should be open to more unconventional versions of families. you know?
For sure.
I feel like it could have worked better had he lived where he lived and I lived where I lived, and just we kind of just saw each other, or we visit our relationship. Like the type of relationship that I would like to have now is one where the man has nothing to do with my children.
Oh, really?
And I just go and visit my relationship,
Yeah,
go and, you know, go and stay with you. You know, you don't need to come to my house, and you know, I'll have my relationship over here and my children over here.
You sound like a man.
Yeah,
I
you
know,
do.
I know.
It sounds like Rio when he met me.
Really?
Yeah. Because I think he was scared. And he spoke about this here before. And he just thought, I'll just go see Kay over there. And then I won't disturb this because my kids are my priority, of course.
Exactly.
Like what you're saying. But then me is I'm going to be the man.
Yeah.
But I love you, so I want to be part of everything.
Exactly.
What if you get someone saying this to you?
But however, Rio was like that because his kids had been through something, and you're saying this because your kids have been through something.
Yeah,
absolutely. And
it's protection
again,
mode.
I was just about to say it again. I'm under no illusion that my reasoning and my stance now is because of what I've been through. You know, as you know, I'm a huge advocate. I'm a huge advocate for love. I'm a huge advocate for blending families. I like you guys. I'm just like, oh, this is so beautiful. This is so like I'm a huge fan. I just kind of feel like, you know what, I cannot possibly put myself and my children in that position again. And you know, and so even with this dilemma, my point of view is more. So you have to think like we did 5-6 years of that, only for him to just walk away. And essentially for my daughter to, you know, because she's 19 now, and she's like, you see? Do you know what I mean? Like,
there you go, love.
Literally. And even in this 3 years, like we've had to have so many like conversations just about it. You know, I've apologized profusely to her.
But
it's not your,
you know,
is it your fault though?
It's absolutely not.
Yeah.
But
it was your choice.
But I definitely made choices that resulted in her having certain experiences, and that whether I like it or not, they were negative to her. And then he's turned around and done the awful thing. And it's kind of like,
you have to hold it.
Yeah.
As parents, sometimes there's just some things you got to hold.
Absolutely.
Can I ask a personal question?
Of course.
Who paid for the therapy?
I paid for everything. It's so that's a whole other subject. I paid for absolutely everything, and so that's another you know, a new standard. Like I will never be out of pocket with another man. Like It's I don't know. I think I've always thought because I'm the person who earns the money, I've always thought, oh, it's fine, you know, it's fine, I got this. And I was absolutely fine with it. But then, you know, it's kind of like after you realize, you know what, the type of man who wants to take care of a woman, there's something about that. There's something about that attribute, that character. Whereas the type of man who's comfortable to be like, oh yeah, you know, you go and do it. And not only that, listen, looking back, I know things were wrong, but like not only that, kind of being comfortable with not only me being the breadwinner, but also wanting dinner on the table at 5 p.m. Also wanting me to do the bulk of the childcare, and you know, it's insane. It's insane. It's insane. It's giving slave. Literally though.
Really?
Literally, no. But she's right. She's right. It's insanity.
Cilla.
But again, it could never happen again.
Hun, been out all day. I'm hungry.
Literally. But it's like, yeah, but you're the wife.
That's one thing that in our house especially, it's really not like that. Like, I want to be a loving, caring wife, and I like to cook my man food because I do get pleasure out of doing that. Like, I like him to come home from work and he's got a meal on the table. But today, is that going to happen? No. That's not going to happen because I'm going to be working all day.
Exactly.
So it's not always 50-50. That's one of my favourite sayings. That sometimes he's going to have to be 18, I'm going to be 20.
Absolutely.
And sometimes we're going to swap.
Absolutely.
Because we love and care each other, and we just got to make it work.
Yeah.
And I think that's a massive thing. Like, those stereotypical roles well, you're working all day, so you don't fit
exactly.
that role. That's what's confusing.
Well, but you do, though.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, she's expected to do everything. Whereas really, if we're going back to the stereotypical roles, really you stay at home.
Exactly.
But you're working,
which is
being
my
a mum,
dream,
cooking.
by the way.
Pardon?
Which is my dream.
But that is a form of work as well, though.
Yes.
We are all created to work. Women work.
Yes.
In what capacity?
Yes, you're right.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
Men work in what capacity? It really is up to them. But nobody wakes up and does nothing. Like we're all working.
Literally.
We all have a means to an end, even within 24 hours. So it's just like, I'm also not a robot. So if I can't cook and clean, somebody does. Somebody has to.
Exactly. And I think also as well, it's the idea. You have to understand, so I'm showing up as the breadwinner, I'm showing up as the mother, but I'm supposed to be a wife. And then that's like a whole, whole other thing. And I think also as well, I didn't grow up in an environment where I saw these roles played out in a way that, aligned with however I wanted to live. So therefore, everything I've had to learn on the job. So even being a wife, I had an idea of what being a wife was. So during my marriage, it was all about selflessness. I was working myself to death, like literally, to the ground. The only time I rested was when I was pregnant. And that was because I was sick, And so it's, when I'm looking back now, these are the conversations that I get to have with my daughters. And I'm just like, absolutely not. Like you don't, it's really important. It's really important that you get what you want. Like one of my daughters, she wants the whole fairy tale. She wants to get married. She wants to have children. She wants to be a stay-at-home mom. And I'm like, I love that for you. And then my other daughter, she is not. I'd be very, very surprised if she even has children. Like I feel like she's giving me rich auntie vibes, and and I also love that for her. But again, being a mother of 4 daughters, it really makes you look inside yourself and the decisions that you make for yourself. Why did you make them? There's so much conditioning that we as women have and accept without questioning like what actually works for you.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of my life, I've always kind of done the thing that I think I'm supposed to do. Whereas now I'm doing only what I want to do. I'm not engaging. I'm not, even, things like certain relationships, like family relationships, I don't have because I don't want. And
I love that. I feel like you a little bit. And I feel like a lot of women do. We go through life doing what we think we're meant to do. Like we want to be good wives. We want to be good mums. We need to be good at this. And actually, sometimes you just get stuck and think, kind of not doing anything that I really want to be doing.
Exactly. Or who told you that it was meant to be this way?
Why is that? Because of just society, I suppose, that we see and we feel like we have to do certain things. Like I have to have dinner on the table for my husband, or else I'm a bad wife.
Yes.
Or people are going to think this, or someone's, I don't know.
Yeah.
But actually, you standing here, sitting there in your power, saying I'm doing what I want for me is an absolute inspiration.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Do you not think so?
But I think it's okay to go through hard things as well, especially when you become a mum, because for me personally, there's a lot that I can sit down and like, I regret this, I regret that, I'm traumatized. But at the same time, I think I'm such a contrasted person. I've got so much to teach my daughters.
Yes.
Like if my daughters go through certain things, like I'm not so far removed from their experiences.
Exactly.
I've done bad things.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I've been very successful in certain things. And I've like looked at life and just thought, like I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm lost. I feel like there's a time limit and I'm timing out. All of my kids are going to experience these things and more. But I'm wise enough to like guide them through it. Just imagine if I just like, I was born, I became a Christian when I was like 8. And I got married when I was like 20 and I had a great marriage. Then I had kids and that was the sum total of my life.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we should go and put ourselves in hardship. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying I've lived a lot of life, so much so that I've got a lot to teach. Whereas if I just was born and just had like a vanilla life, what would I say to my children if they're going through it? And the world is getting darker and darker.
Honestly.
And darker.
Yeah.
What are you meant to say?
Honestly.
But also I do think like as difficult as it is for your children to see what you've gone through.
Yeah.
and all of us, what we're all going through different things, they learn so much from that.
much.
That teaches them about their standards that they're going to have, their choices. And I do think that all these hardships are like the making of us.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think, you know, for me, there are certain choices I never would have made had I not gone through certain things. And I feel like, you know, one of the things that, and it's not just my daughters, like to all women, I want you to, I want to, you know, encourage everyone, like, choose your life. Like, does this work for me? Like, me in particular. When I tell people what my ideal relationship is, like, because my ideal relationship is just something that's removed from, I want my family
so not
here.
A unit.
No, I don't want
Segmented.
a unit. But I feel like even during my marriage, I think there were signs in me. Like, I didn't enjoy sharing my space with a man. You know, even things like the toilet.
Yeah.
Like,
We spoke about it.
It was just like, to me, I was like, I don't want to do. I don't want to do this, and I hated it. It was a huge thing, and it's like, you know, like when he moved into my house, so, like, you know, having to empty out my drawers and change my dressing room around, like things like that. It seems like small things, but when I look back, it's like the life that I live now, it might sound very selfish, but it's just kind of like, this is better for me. This is better for me. And, you know, I've been on a couple of dates and stuff like that. And I just let them know early doors, like, I don't want to get married. I don't want any more children, and I don't want to live with you. You know,
what did I say? I'm just thinking about being this guy
like you.
But yeah, but like, what do they say when you say that?
But I want you to only want to be with me, and I only want to be with you. Like, you know, I want a monogamous relationship. I just don't want the other things. And, like, to be honest, I think they breathe a sigh of relief, because they're like, oh, okay, that's you know. But again, it's only because of, you know, my age, my stage in life. I've been married. I've got children. I don't, you know, I make my own money. Do you know what I mean? And it's funny because it's not even funny. I love that, like, my daughters understand that we're different. So one of my daughters, as I said, she wants the whole 2.4, you know, not 2.4, but, you know, she wants the whole kind of traditional thing. And I'm so supportive of that. I'm so supportive of her, what she wants for herself. But she's also very supportive of what I've chosen for myself as well. And it's so important that it's a choice. Choose your life, choose the things that you're doing, you know. Like, for instance, one of my choices are, when I'm on my period, I don't cook. Because I'm just like, I hardly do anything. And I know that sounds like,
what I'm here. These choices, I think I need to start writing these down.
Because I'm just like, I don't want to. I just want to chill out. So I literally, you know, we'll do takeaway for a week of every month, and I just don't care.
I love
care.
that.
Yeah.
Because who says
we have to suffer through?
No, it's true. Who made these rules?
You know what I mean? I'm in pain. Let me just sit on the couch and, you know, do what I want.
Yeah.
This needs to be made a thing, I think. We need to, like, campaign for this in somewhere, because this
you have a choice. Sit down.
Literally.
No, but for me, I would feel guilty, but that's something that's ingrained. Where has that come from? Because really, it's only myself putting the pressure on myself.
Exactly. Yeah. You're suffering through
and no one's going to thank you.
No.
Thank you for the dinner that you cooked in pain. No, I'm just hungry. Thank you.
No, it's true.
Literally.
But it's like these level of standards that sometimes I feel like I've got on me.
On yourself.
But I put them on myself.
Absolutely. And also as well, you know, you have to remember we live in an age where we're fed so much information, you know, so we see so many beautiful things online. We're told what a beautiful family looks like. And, you know, at the end of my last relationship, I just had so much guilt. I was like, oh my gosh, like, my daughters are never going to have that family unit. And then, as I went on, I was like, hold on, this is a family. Like, everything, you know, I have the idea in my head, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not dismissing the traditional family unit. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm sure, as you know, in another life, I absolutely wanted that for myself. But it's also okay to change your mind. It's also okay for things to be different now, and for our family to still be a family. I think that's what I want for my girls is just, I just want them to know you have a choice. You don't have to do the thing that everyone's telling you have to do.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. So this babe.
It's not good
what we
news.
said-
for her.
what-
No,
what-
Jamelia,
what-
I've got to be honest. Let's go back to this dilemma.
But what do
'Cause
you guys
talk
think?
we could talk for hours here. This is the
Literally.
problem. Well, I wasn't going to say that. I've got to be honest. I wasn't. Because I don't know. But then you have made me think about things from a different perspective. This is what I like. You've challenged my view because really I would think, let's just give it a go and try and put certain things in place. Suppose like you did in your relationship to see if we can make this work, see if we can make you feel better.
Absolutely.
Sit down and have a conversation with my daughter and say, what is it that's upsetting you? What is it that has changed that you don't like? And then maybe try and see what we can do with it.
Yeah.
That would probably be what I would do, but
Yeah.
maybe that might not be right.
Yeah.
Because I think when I moved into this house, this is the only thing I can really compare it to. It's why I sometimes end up talking about my situation.
Yeah.
We spoke about this the other day. Tate, the middle child, he wasn't too pleased about it. He wasn't. And he said, and Lorenz, the eldest, he was saying, I just thought, who is this woman coming and like telling me what to do? Like, I liked you, but why are you telling me what to do? But we just went with it. But that could have been a bad decision. I've only got this outlook because we went with it and it's turned out well.
Right.
But for all different families, that might not be the case. You might go with it and then it might not work well.
And I think that's just life. Like, I think what we need to remember is that just on this journey of life in general, like it's either going to be one thing or it's not. And,
It's
you
true.
know, and your version is just as important as mine. Like, absolutely, you could do all of that and it could work and it could be brilliant. Like, there's, you know, make time to bond, make time, you know, family time. Like, you know, there are so many things that you can do to try and make it work, but it also might not work. It also might just absolutely hit the fan.
Yeah.
And if it does, I've always been like a bit of an overthinker. And so I've always been someone who kind of, you know, I think about multiple options, like what if this happens?
Yeah.
And I think that served me well. But even in those scenarios, the unthinkable can still happen.
Absolutely.
And you're just like, oh, okay. And again, I think just have conviction in your choices. Like, okay, this is what I'm choosing to do. Go with it. It's either going to work or it's not. And so I think in response to that, like all of our advice is valid and you know, worth taking on. And it's for the, you know, the person that's written in, for her to make the choice.
Ultimately,
Yes.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I feel like when you go into a blended family, you do have to have some type of conviction. The idea that everything is going to be easy, I've said this before, is just a bit silly. You have to preempt hardship.
Absolutely.
And I think even like when kids, like my daughter was like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm going to go into year 9 and, you know, I'm not sure if I want to leave secondary school and start college. She's already preempting like a hardship that is kind of far away. I think all change is hard.
Yeah.
We all react differently. And I think I would say to this listener, give her a chance to go through it. I think the only time I would look at my child and say, I'm going to scale things back or I'm going to stop this, is if I could see like an actual detriment to mental health or physical health or behavior, like she's lashing out or whatever. Then I think your body is reaching like an end game and I want to try and stop that. But if you're sad that things have changed, I understand that. You kind of should be sad that things have changed. It's been one way for so long and now it's a completely different way. I would tell her what you're feeling is normal, but give yourself a chance to adjust. Because throughout all of life, you're going to find yourself in positions where it feels uncomfortable and you wish it could go back, but unfortunately it can't. So again, I'm not advocating for like children or adults to reach their breaking point, but I'm saying like we grow through hard things, and even children have opportunities to grow through hard things, and we shouldn't like be quick to take it away from them.
And also I think like don't change everything, like 100% of the things. I think that's a big thing. Gradually, and let her express that she misses this certain thing, and keep those things as that old life as well. I think it's scary when 100% of the things change and children have got no idea where they're at or what's going on.
Course.
So I think it's about keeping some of the old routines and some of the old, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, and introducing new slowly.
Yeah. I think it takes time. I think it takes time. And I think you also, especially as the parents, as the decision makers who have chosen to have this union, you have to take on board your children's points of view and be serious about solving it. I definitely believe, I think, especially when when you meet a new partner and you're trying to blend families, you're so romantic in your head that, oh, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be like, Sound of Music. You know what I mean? That literally was like what I was thinking. And then you realize, oh, it's not, even little things like my stepson was being raised in a totally different way to the way that my children were being raised.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of caused issues sometimes and conflict sometimes, even him going back with, different points of view. And it was kind of like, oh, should I not have said that? Or should I not have, been as open about that, teaching him something maybe before his mom got the opportunity to do so. It's just, it is a minefield, but I think there's a portion where you should romanticize it, but there's also, you have to give yourself room to be realistic. Be realistic about what this situation is, and it's going to take time. And not only that, especially with children are growing and changing. And, my kids have been 10 different kids, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they'll continue to be that. And so, just know that introducing a new partner into the home or blending your families, you're going to come up with,
you're going to rock the boat.
Yeah.
But also, can you be happy? Can you be fully happy if your children aren't happy? Because
yes.
Can you?
Really?
I don't know
Absolutely.
if I can.
I don't think so.
Because children are ebbing and flowing through life.
Yeah.
There's some times where children are moody. There's some children where children don't have, like adults have foresight. Children are extremely short-sighted.
Yeah.
They, like, one thing could happen and they, in their head, it's such a massive thing.
Yeah.
And they're not happy. Listen, if my child has a cold, if my child is upset about something that is actually minute in the grand scheme of things, I am going to go to bed feeling agitated. Absolutely. It will disturb my peace. But will I be pushed to a position where I'm like, I can't think straight, I'm so upset, I have to fix it? Absolutely not. I'm going to watch my child closely and see how they get through it with my guidance and support. Do you understand? But not everything that rocks my little babies, that will rock my little babies, is going to rock me. I am that solid thing. I am that firm foundation. I cannot be displaced because my child feels displaced. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But I'm here for it. And this isn't inspiring me, because I think I do get displaced sometimes and I start to think, oh God.
Yeah.
Like
I'm exactly the same.
She's not okay. They're going to be right. And I do overthink it massively. You saying I'm the strong woman, that I'm firm and I don't change in that. I think like I need to work on that actually.
Yeah.
Because
same.
little things do rock the boat. But I think it's also when you've got so many little things going on that the boat is rocked for me. But maybe I need to be better at being firmer within myself.
And also making them choices like Jamelia was just saying. It's like all these other things that are swirling around me. I might have issues at work, might have issues with my partner or my friendship circle, whatever. Then now my children are acting up for whatever reason. It can feel overwhelming for the parent. But like I always think to myself, like in all the things outside of my children, because my children are my main priority, is this an emergency? Is it urgent? Do I even need to like address this right now? I don't need to do any of this stuff. So it's a thing of like, my children are upset. I'm beginning to feel overwhelmed. I'm not going to address my issue at work. I'm not going to address my issue with my friend. Like I'm just going to sit down and chill. And all my energy, like my first priority is my children. When I've nipped this thing in a bud, or when we've come out of this season, then I'm going to go back to the other things I need to nip in the bud. It doesn't have to be all things at once, because we are mere humans. And we are just as breakable and fallible as our children are. And in terms of me like saying I am that firm foundation for my children, absolutely 100 believe that, but I need my children to also understand that mummy can break.
Yeah.
Like mummy's fragile as well. So watch me work it out and then see how you can adopt it as well.
I think that's probably my number one thing, especially now, is being honest with your children about how you feel, what you're going through, what you're experiencing, because then you become an example for when they experience something similar. They're able to be, oh, I remember when, you know, when this happened to mommy and this is what she did, this is what she looked like, this, you know, like, I don't know, like things like before this point, I would never cry in front of my children. Now I'm probably once every few days. Like I'm just
but
like,
I'm so here for
you
that.
know,
Because I think will the children ever know how to deal with things if they haven't seen you? They're going to think, oh my God, mum had it all together. Now look what's happened to me.
Literally.
So I'm a crier. I really say how I feel. And sometimes it gets a little bit like, whoa, but actually we all feel so much better when we're open.
Because that's real.
And I think it's such a great, I love seeing families that can openly communicate. And even when it's really hard, have conversations. Because if you can get through that, you can get through most things as a family.
Absolutely.
And your children will learn how to be outside in the world as well. Because like a lot of people that are uncomfortable being around people that cry is because they've not been around people that cry at home. So it's just like, what do I do? Like, this is quite uncomfortable. Do you know what I mean? But like my mum always used to say, charity begins at home, in a sense of like everything that you learn. And this is why when I was homeschooling, like one of my biggest emphasis was telling my kids like, you're gonna learn how to be a good friend in your as siblings. You're gonna learn how to be loyal. You're gonna learn like why, you know, lying separates people. You're gonna learn so much being at home. When you go out into the world, you're gonna be a great friend. You're gonna have a great work ethic. You're gonna be able to be with older people, younger people. You're gonna be able to teach and be teachable. All of these things is good, but it starts with like your parents or the key adults in your life. And if you never see me cry, if you never see me lose it, it's like, oh, this gentle parenting. I won't say too much. Sorry. I don't want to judge no one. But sometimes I want to pop off.
And actually that's good because one of our boys actually are at football now, and sometimes that environment is heated. The coaches have come back to us and said, you know what, they can just take it. And not everyone can, but how good is that they can take it because then they're used to having it given to them a little bit at home. They're used to being pulled up. You know? They're used to being told. They're used to having cried. So actually it's not a shock to them when they're told.
Exactly.
So I think that's why all these things when they're younger that you sometimes do and they don't like it, now I'm seeing really
the fruits of it.
The fruits of it.
You're teaching
and actually,
them something.
It was right to do
Absolutely.
that. It's so great when you get that feedback.
Absolutely.
It was fine to do it. And now you have them saying, kind of get it now. And what a great thing that is as a parent.
It is.
I mean, you've got older girls.
And it's, again, like there are having the younger ones. You've got younger and older as well, so it's a similar thing. So you have, right?
No, my oldest is 14. I'm
still
young in it. I cannot imagine having a 21-year-old. That's wild.
But 14, that's still teenage.
Teenage.
You got I think that's the two different ends of like the babies and the
exactly. But I think when you've so because you've got the older ones, you know, like what you got wrong, what you got right. Like, so I feel like I'm a much better mom now to the younger ones because I've kind of had a go.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? I had a go.
I feel like that.
Like my older ones, they call themselves the tester kids. And I'm like, well,
I say that to my oldest all the time. I say to her like, thank you so much for like riding life with me. Because of you, like the last born has the best mom. And that's on you. So well done to you. And she'll be looking at me like, okay, give me money. Literally. Where's my gift? And I was just like, it's all right, calm down.
Literally, yeah. And but it's again, it's a real blessing to even have the opportunity to kind of, have another go. Do you know what I mean? Like it
really
beautiful.
is, and correct some things that might not have been right.
And
actually go through that with the older sibling.
Exactly.
And discuss it.
And say sorry.
Yes. I had to apologize yesterday. So it's such a silly thing. But basically, I was on a beach with my daughter. She was 9, so she's 19 now. And I was like, why are you so scared of birds? And she was like, you don't remember that day on the beach? and I threw my ice cream on the floor, and I forced her to pick it up because she was littering. And she said when she went to go and pick it up, the seagulls came and she said they attacked her, but they didn't attack her, but they were coming for the ice cream. And I was just like, and literally on this walk, I'm like, do you know what? I should have more thought about, because she was saying that I wouldn't let her throw the ice cream back on the floor. So she had to walk. And I don't remember this at all. But obviously it's given her a phobia. And so I was like, I'm really sorry I did that. And I should have prioritized you rather than whether or not people thought my child was littering. But it's nice because she understands. And she's like, no, you don't have to apologize. Like, it was horrible. And yeah, I've got a lifelong phobia. But
can't lie to you, I wouldn't apologize for that. I've given my children a lot of irrational fears. And like with inside of me, I'm sorry that you're scared of insects and stuff, but also when work it out. Go and heal. Like, I've made it to 37 and I'm scared of a lot of things and I didn't die. You too, you won't die. I'm sorry, but it's happened now,
Yeah, the phobias are mad. Okay, I feel like have we given some good advice here?
I think so.
I've
given some good advice.
I think it's been really well balanced as well.
Yeah.
Like I think like 3 unique perspectives. So I hope she's going to write back in again, because I feel that whichever piece of advice she chooses,
she'll be all right.
She's
going to
be
be
fine.
okay.
Yeah.
And actually, deep down, I think you know your children.
Yeah.
And just connect with that feeling
Of course.
I think as a mum, when you have to
draw the line,
and when you have to put a little bit more energy into something, and just hold on to that mum feeling, because you do know.
Yeah,
exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
Is that it? Oh, this is. We could sit here for about. It's getting hot in here. It's steaming up because
I'm having a hot flush.
Cilla's having a hot flush. But Jamelia, thank you so much. It's been great that we could finally make this happen.
Honestly, thank you so much for having me.
And you've been so open and honest. And I think
so good.
Our listeners are going to love it.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. That was such a great episode. Please remember, if you're watching on YouTube, to hit the subscribe button. And remember to send your questions into the Blended Instagram. And we'll be here at the same time next week. Lots of love.